Welcome to Intellifluence, an influencer marketing service that you can actually afford. I'm going to take you through the process of setting up a food and drink influencer marketing campaign targeting YouTube. We'll go through the process from start to finish, and afterwards we'll take a few minutes and analyze the campaign. This will show you just how easy it is to use Intellifluence to get reviewed, build awareness, and increase your sales. For the purpose of today's presentation, I'm the representative of the Milan Organic brand, and I'm going to market our subscription premium Italian grocery box. Once you've joined and logged into your dashboard, go ahead and click Create New Campaign. First, give your campaign a name so you can easily reference it. Next, choose the type of compensation you want to offer influencers. It can be free product, cash, or both, and you'll notice that the fields change depending on which option I choose. And for the purpose of today's demonstration, we're going to go with both. Next, you're going to enter the free product or service you're offering here, along with the retail value. If you're offering cash, put in the amount you're going to offer on top of the product or service value. Next, choose how many influencers you want to work with in this campaign. Now keep in mind you can update this number at any time. You might get a notification telling you that you do not have sufficient funds to pay the number of influencers you chose. Now this is just a reminder letting you know that you need to fund your campaign before sending pitches if you're offering cash. You don't need to worry about this right now when setting up the campaign. Next, the required work section is really important, so I want to take a minute to highlight it. You want to make sure that you include all of the required work associated with your campaign. So in the required work section, I have instructions for the YouTube personality here, how they're going to order the subscription box, the URL where they can get it, some shipping information, what to do once they receive the box, how I want the review to look, an estimate on the length, I want an HD high quality, as well as a coupon code for the influencer to provide in the description and then also in the video. And then finally, I provide payment information here, how they are going to be compensated for their review. And I link to the Intellifluence promise here so they can check that out for further reading. Now, since I am having the influencer order the product directly from my website, I don't need their mailing address or email address. You have the option to require this information. I don't need it, so I'm going to leave that blank. And it's really important for you to include a campaign image. This enhances your campaign visibility, especially in the Intellifluence influencer marketplace, where influencers can apply to be a part of your campaign. It makes your campaign look way better, so it's very important to upload an image, which I'm going to do now. Set the crop there. Next, select your campaign start and end dates. I'm going to do it for the month of January. Now, keep in mind that you can update this at any time. You can extend them, you can change them. It's up to you. So when you get down here, you'll notice the option to syndicate your campaign to public partners and display in the internal marketplace. So this option displays your offer in our internal marketplace, and then this option goes beyond to make your offer open to our third-party partners for maximum exposure. If you're subscribed to an applicable plan, you have the option to make your campaign private, where you exclusively seek out influencers to pitch, but leaving both boxes checked will give you the most exposure. Now, the great thing about Intellifluence is that you can have a public campaign visible for influencers to apply to in the marketplace, and then elsewhere you can also be seeking out influencers on your own to pitch at the same time. So it's double the effectiveness of most influencer marketing platforms. Next, we're going to select up to 5 categories that best represent the product or service I'm offering. Food and drink, maybe gifts. Do health. We'll go with those for right now, as well as the countries or country that you want to target. Now we'll choose which platform or platforms we want to market to. We're going to go with YouTube for this demonstration. And then you can select minimum audience size for your campaign. So by default, you'll only see influencers that have your preferred minimum reach, depending on what you choose. So you can adjust this down the road. Just consider it a starting point. For the link back URL, enter the URL for your product or service that you want the influencer to promote in their post. Below, you can enter a suggested post message, which will act as the prompt for the influencer when they are writing their review or their post, or in this case, the description for their YouTube video. I'll put a prompt in there for them. And then you can supply posting do's and posting don'ts. If you have a brand style guide, you can post that information there, as well as anything you want them to avoid. Now, once you've filled out all the fields, you've included the required work in a thorough and straightforward manner, and you have the campaign visibility settings how you want them, and you've uploaded a campaign image, you can go ahead and click Save up here. Once you've saved your campaign, you're automatically redirected to our Discover tool. The Discover tool will enable you to effortlessly search our entire network of influencers and apply advanced filters so you can display the absolute best candidates. You'll notice this message letting you know that your campaign is live and here's what to do next. It's time to find the best food and drink influencers on YouTube. In order to make things easy for you, we apply filters based on the information you enter when setting up the campaign, and you can see those right here. This ensures that you'll only see good candidates from the very beginning. So the campaign filters I have in place right now, I'm only looking at influencers that will accept this amount in product, this amount in cash, and they have the specialty of food and drink, gifts, health and beauty. They're located in the United States, and they have a YouTube presence. So you'll see the influencers here, and this is an infinite scroll. You'll keep seeing more and more. So the great thing about the Discover tool is that you can adjust these filters at any time. You can remove certain ones or all of them if you want. You can start from scratch and search our entire network, or you can apply more filters and refine them right here by clicking Advanced Filters. When you get multiple campaigns going and you enter the Discover tool without any filters applied, you can click here to apply filters based on campaigns you've created in the past. So for right now, we're going to look at filters that we can refine. We can refine by influencer, so we can target specific genders. We can add or change the countries that we're targeting. For the United States, you can select state, enter a zip code, and then a search radius. So you can really hone in on influencers there. And then for specialties, you can add or remove, change up these specialties at any time. So one thing I forgot was organic, because my food product is organic. So I'm going to add the organic filter here. So I've added influencers that have an organic specialty. You can refine by influencers you've worked with or currently worked with, haven't worked with. And then you can change that reach number like we discussed earlier. You can also refine by budget. If you are not finding enough influencers, it might be a good idea to relax the filters a little bit. So that might look like adding or providing more product value, more cash for the service right there. So you can change that up. You could add social networks. And then actually this is a nice way to organize your search right here, to refine by social platforms. So for YouTube, we can say, hey, I only want to look for YouTubers with at least 500 subscribers. So you'll only see YouTube personalities that have 500 subscribers or more, and then you can cap that as well. And you can do that for each one of these social platforms. And then this is more for blogging. If you were looking for blogger reviewers, you can refine by their blog metrics, link research, tool score, domain authority. You can hover over each element here and see what you're refining by when you search there. So hide that. And like I said, if you're not getting the results you're looking for, you might want to relax the filters a bit. This might look like choosing smaller minimum audience on a platform basis, adding additional categories. You can adjust your campaign as well, offering more product or cash like I discussed earlier. And to do that, you would just exit out of here, click campaign, go to your campaign, click edit, and then you can change anything that you set up initially. Now each influencer card is going to display their bio as well as the minimum product value they'll accept and the minimum cash payment they'll accept right here. Those are those two figures. Give you an idea of their audience size, their specialties, and then you can click on their bio to read their full bio and get more information about them here. Now, once you find an influencer you'd like to pitch, just hover over them and click the Add to Campaign button right here, and then just select the campaign that you want to add them to. And then you can click here to go to your campaign. You'll see the influencer has been added to your campaign. This is the transaction bar right here, and you can go ahead and send them your pitch. At this point, you're almost ready to pitch. As I mentioned earlier, you'll need to add funds to your account before you send pitches if you're running a cash campaign. In order to fund your campaign, you just need to click the Add Funds button, which is displayed at the top of almost every screen within the system. Now you can easily add funds using the payment card you have on file that is tied to your subscription. Otherwise, you can click Add a Card if you'd like to add another payment card. If you're ready to add funds, simply enter the amount and click Add Funds. Once you've updated your funds, you'll see an updated account balance here, and you can also view an expanded account balance here that includes all of your Intellifluence payments and subscription history. You can also view and update your payment methods right here. Now that you have created your campaign, use the Discover tool with advanced filters to find the best influencers, and you've added those influencers to your campaign, and you have funded your campaign if you're offering a cash incentive, now's the time to pitch the influencer. You can pitch influencers individually, or you can select multiple influencers to pitch using our bulk pitch tool right here. You can also remove them from your campaign in this instant using the bulk tool. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to send a pitch to this influencer, so I'm going to click Send Pitch. You'll notice the pitch is populated with your most recent campaign details. Since I'm offering cash, you'll notice the cash amount displayed here that includes the Intellifluence payments transaction fee. And then this total represents the total cost to send the pitch. If everything looks right, you can go ahead and click Send Pitch. You can also make any changes you want to this specific pitch before sending. If you want all pitches to reflect these changes, you need to edit the actual campaign. So you would back out, and then you would be at your main campaign screen here, and you would click the Edit button, and then you can edit any single component of the campaign right here. And then once you save that, all changes will be reflected in your subsequent pitches. All right, everything looks good, so I'm going to pitch this influencer. I'm going to click Send Pitch and send the pitch. Once you have pitched the influencer, you'll notice the status update there where you are waiting for a response. This kicks off the transaction flow. At this point, the influencer is going to review your pitch and either accept it, decline, or request changes via the messaging system. You can click Messages at any time to access our messaging system, which saves you from having to deal with email because email is cumbersome. Any correspondence with influencers will be stored here, as well as in each transaction within each campaign. So there's multiple ways to read your messages. When you arrive at the dashboard, they'll appear at a glance right here, or like I said, you can click the Messages tab to read all the messages from influencers throughout all your campaigns. And then you can actually just go right to the campaign there and click on the message box right here. If the influencer responds and lets you know that they are looking for different terms, you might need to negotiate by sending a revised pitch, which you can do right here if you still want to work with them. Now back to the campaign. Once the influencer has accepted the pitch, you'll receive an email notification as well as a notification displayed within your dashboard. You'll see a new message notification there, or you can go to the campaign and you'll see the transaction flow update right here. So now I'm ready to send the influencer the product and update this transaction flow, which will notify the influencer that the product is en route. So you can do this here, or you can also do this directly from the message screen as well. This opens your message thread here for the transaction, and you're going to click the Mark Product as Sent button right here. And then you can provide the necessary details such as tracking numbers or estimated delivery times so the influencer knows when to expect delivery. If the influencer needs to purchase the product from your website or a retailer, you can provide the instructions at this time. You can also provide any details such as a referral code if you want them to include it in their post. So now I'm going to mark this as sent, and you'll see within the transaction flow that it's been updated, the product has been sent, and now we just await the response. And we're back. We're in our dashboard, and you can see here in our latest message thread that the influencer has received the product. So we can go directly to that message thread, and we see that there. And you can provide a response thanking the influencer for letting you know. Look forward to reading the review. I find that it's always best to communicate constantly, just to keep things rolling along, and so both parties are involved. So now that they've received the product, they've notified us that they'll post a review. We just have to wait a little bit. And we're back once again. So let's go to the message section, and we see that the influencer has posted. So we'll go to the message thread here, and the influencer has included the post link. And so let's take a look at the URL to review. All right, here's the video review, and upon reviewing, I see that the influencer has done exactly what I asked for. The review looks good. The description has everything that I need in it. So we can go back to the message thread and mark this transaction as completed. Now, if there was ever an issue with the work that the influencer submitted, you can explain here in the message thread what changes need to be made, rather than marking this as complete. Since everything looks good in this instance, I'm going to mark this as complete. Now you can include a thank you or an invitation to work again in the future. You can let them know that you'll update them on future campaigns if you want to work with them again, whatever you deem necessary. So we're going to mark as complete. And now you have the opportunity to rate the influencer's performance, and this will help us enhance the community even further. Now, in a perfect world, we could end the webinar right now because everything went exactly as planned. But the reality is, sometimes things go awry. If you've done your best to provide clear instructions throughout the transaction, but there's an issue with the transaction and you try to resolve it directly with the influencer to no avail, you do have the option to flag the transaction for further review. Now, before you do this, like I said, really try and work it out with the influencer. Effective communication will go a long way. But if you're just not getting to the bottom of it, you can click the Flag This Transaction button up here, and you'll notice this message. Please only flag a transaction for review after you've tried to resolve the issue on your own. Appropriate reasons for flagging a transaction include requesting help to get any party to comply with the terms of your agreement, bringing to our attention any party that has acted in a non-professional manner, or bringing to our attention any content that doesn't comply with Intellifluence policies. If you notice anything illegal, if there's serious issues with the content. If you're experiencing anything like that, let us know about it by flagging the transaction. Also, if you've sent a pitch to an influencer but they don't want to move forward and they haven't declined it, or you've changed your mind before any of the transaction steps past pitching have been completed, you have the option to archive the transaction, and that icon would show up right there if that was an applicable transaction you could archive. Now that we have completed a transaction from start to finish, it's time to analyze the campaign. If you haven't achieved the results you're looking for, there's several steps you can take to encourage greater success. First, you might want to adjust the advanced filters when searching for an influencer using the Discover tool. Like I mentioned earlier, you might need to relax these filters a little bit. You might need to expand the categories and relax the audience requirements of influencers in terms of their social platforms or blog visitors. For your campaign, you may want to edit it and offer more product or cash value to encourage more pitch acceptances and marketplace applications. You may need to be more explicit in the required work section of the campaign if the influencer's work is consistently not meeting your expectations. It's really easy to edit your campaign and adjust the advanced filters within the Discover tool. We created a video called How to Analyze a Campaign on our YouTube channel that you can check out for more advice on analyzing your campaign. Within any screen in our system, you can either take a tour and get an explanation of how things work. Otherwise, you can click on the FAQ link to go to our knowledge base where you can search help articles by topic. If your question isn't answered or you need some more help, you can submit a request directly to one of our friendly customer service staff members such as myself. I hope this webinar has helped you out, and we look forward to helping you reach your influencer marketing goals.